tips to accelerate your career with top companies and meet leading business disruptors who will share pivotal moments in being a successful leader. This is the Forward Motion Business Show with Professor Ken and Professor Paul A. Marino.
Hey, I'm Professor Ken.
And I'm Professor Paul Marino.
And this is the Forward Motion Business Show. And we're coming to you from the FIU Chapman Graduate School of Business. And today we have a wonderful show with a local celebrity here, right, out of Miami Gardens. Paul, why don't you introduce our guests?
So I'm very happy to welcome Felicia Leftinger. And she is the executive director, is that correct, of programs at the Miami Lakes Golf Course?
Correct.
We did a prior segment on the renaissance that's going, over there, what's happening over there. But I wanted Felicia to come. I'm very happy she's here because she's doing so many incredible programs with the young kids in our neighborhood. So why don't you start off by telling us about First Tee? That's your baby, right?
Absolutely. So I got involved in First Tee about 8 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And we have right around 5,000 people coming through it, juniors, and anyone under the age of 18 goes down to 5 years old, roughly. So, and we run programs pretty much 7 days a week. And it includes after-school clinics, golf clinics, after-school tutoring. It involves our special needs programs. We run the biggest girls program in the country. So we have a lot of different avenues that we cover. So we have a lot of fun with it, no doubt.
Now, recently, Ken, we did a collaboration between First Tee and Guardian Watch, the charity that I'm involved with. And Felicia told me that playing golf wasn't enough.
Right.
You have to have an education as well. So tell us how the two programs kind of mesh.
Well, the problem is when they get older and they become great golfers, it's fantastic. Now, what happens if that fantastic golfer break their leg or have an accident, can't play golf in the same manner anymore? So if you can't graduate high school or you don't go into college or whatever it might be, doesn't really matter how good of a golfer you are. So if we can catch that when they're younger, and especially when they're 10, 11, 12, 13 years old, and get them caught up with what Paul does, it makes it so much easier for them to keep up with schoolwork and with the golf. And if they want to combine them, they're able to do that as they get older. So the school part of it is just as important as the golfer. It's just, it's great to be a good golfer, but you got to have academics too.
Tell us a little bit about the program that you and I are discussing with Stephanie about the women who are actually applying to college for golf scholarships or getting into college or maintaining their GPA so they can play. That's an interesting twist on things.
Absolutely. So we run the biggest girls program in the country. So we have 350 girls, anywhere from 5 years old all the way up to 18, that are involved with us on a monthly basis. The second largest program has right around 35, 40 girls. So it's a pretty significant
difference.
It's a very big difference. So this program is sponsored by the Orange Bowl and has been for the past 8 to 10 years. And where they want to bring up strong females and give them an opportunity to learn golf and also find interesting mentors, but see that women are strong in the workforce. So with what Paul's saying, if we can bring these girls and make sure that they keep their academics so that they can apply for college scholarship, just right now in college scholarship on the academic side and the athletic side, there's $80 million that goes unused. And that's because of people don't know about it. They don't have the grades.
The qualifications.
Exactly. They don't have the qualifications. And a lot of times we run into a lot of the parents also, they're scared of letting their child leave Miami.
Sure.
They don't want them to necessarily move. So if we can foster that and get them ready for that next step, that will be a big success.
Stephanie was telling me, and I didn't realize this, that a coach evaluating a golfer to be on the team not only looks at their golf ability, but their GPA. They have to maintain the GPA of the team. I never realized that.
And isn't that sort of a standard rule with collegiate sport? I mean, most college sports, I would imagine, require you to have at least a 2.0 just to stay in the program. And then if you're funded with a scholarship, you have certain requirements that you have to meet too. But even past that, in my opinion, what you're doing is phenomenal because, yeah, it's very important to have that scholarship, to have a high GPA, but it's the balance of life that you're looking at.
Right.
You're learning a great game, right? You were learning the skill set of golf, but now you're getting educated for things outside of golf.
Right.
And the two, they marry so nicely together, and it does develop a woman. I have two strong daughters so I appreciate what you're trying to do. It's important.
Now, you have a leadership program as well, don't you?
Correct. So as part of our girls program and as part of the LPGA that Girls Golf Miami is under, they do leadership academies every year where they take the girls in for 2 days. Everything is fully covered by them and tell them to, if you have, for instance, bad friend group, okay, how do you deal with that? How do you get out from someone that not necessarily is good influence on you?
Yeah.
And as a teenage girl, and with social media and everything else that you have,
sure, it's very dangerous for them.
It's a very tricky spot to be in.
Right.
But if we can foster a generation that is strong and that is confident and is not scared of saying no, then we know we're doing a good job.
Yeah.
So the life skills that both on the first tee side and also what we're trying to teach the girls, it blends together. Because if you talk to college coaches now, a lot of them say, okay, I want a good golfer, but if someone is throwing their clubs or is using bad language or is just bad representation on the golf course, may not be a best fit.
Yeah.
So you gotta have a combination of all. So once again, being a good golfer, yeah, that's great. But if you don't have the whole package, then you kind of fall off of it.
Yeah, and then for decades, there's all kinds of publications and literature out there that sports helps. Any type of sports helps development of all sorts. And I know golf is so not regulated, but what's the word I'm looking for? There's a very strict etiquette, I guess is the right word, right?
There's a big honor code.
And there's a big honor code, right? So I mean, coming out of that, you learn respect, you learn honor. So it's a lot of things that develop you as a person, as a human being.
It's amazing. You watch a professional golf tournament and you'll see it go into extra holds. You'll see it come right down to the wire, whether it's men's or women's. But after the person wins, what impresses me so much is that the person who came in second always goes up and congratulates them, always tells them they did a great thing, or the man or woman who won goes to the person who may not have made it that time and said, don't worry, you'll get it the next time. It's an amazing sport of etiquette. Now, the question I have for you is on all these children that are coming through your program, how do you find them?
So we have a lot of word of mouth. And our big thing, and I tell all the parents that I talk to, it's if they like golf, great. But what will bring them back to our program is if they find that one friend that they actually enjoy hanging out with. They like to practice with, or they can talk and socialize. So even though golf is a sport and we want to foster that, it's still, if you don't get that one person that you look forward, that connection, then golf is, it's a sport and I do it. Like right now we have 2 5-year-olds. They're 2 girls and found each other in the Saturday morning clinic, 9:00 every morning. Become best friends.
That's great.
And they hit some golf balls, they stand outside and they talk about what they talk about. We still don't quite know, but they have a full-blown conversation. And that's what brings them back every Saturday morning. And same thing for our older girls. We have some of our older high school girls that golf, they realize is not necessarily for them, but they keep being active in the program and maybe volunteer or whatever it might do, just to come back and hang out with that friend group that they've created over so many years.
In our community, there are a number of young people who have special needs. Do you have any programs for them?
So we run, and I've been doing for the past 30 years probably, we run a Special Olympics program in the fall and in the spring. and where we take in volunteers to help out. We have some of our members at the golf course. We have volunteers that done it for years. Some of our teenagers come out. So that program runs every year, spring and fall. And we have usually right between 800 to 1,000 kids coming out each semester.
Now, I know for parents, summer is a particularly difficult time for them, finding the right program for their child over the summer.
Definitely.
Do you have a summer program?
So we run, when school finishes on Wednesday, Thursday, depending on the year, we start summer camp that Monday, and it usually ends up being 9 weeks nonstop. So anyone that's interested in that, all that information is on thefirsttteammiami.org. And it's a lot of golf, but it's also a lot of some water balloons and some fun along the way too. So it's usually a very popular program for sure.
And hopefully we could put some education in as well.
Exactly. That's what we're hoping for.
So I want to thank you for being on the program.
Thank you for having me.
I guess a parent could call Miami Lakes Golf Club and ask to speak to you if they want to put their child in the program, or go to your website.
Definitely.
Is there anything you'd like to add?
No, thank you for having me. We appreciate
it was our pleasure.
Thank you so much. And I'll see you out there on the golf course one day.
Sounds good. That's perfect.
Wonderful. So that's our broadcast for today. I'm Professor Ken.
And I'm Professor Paul Marino.
And we'll see you out there.